Hi everyone, it's Madison from OFML. I've got another knitting project for you today. We're going to be making these mask mates that you've probably seen on Facebook lately. These are put on the back of the head for medical personnel, and they can hook on their mask strings to the buttons that you attach to keep them from getting mask headaches from them being behind their ears. So this was a really quick project. It took me only about 15 minutes to crank this one out, so you could just make a bunch really fast. For this project, you're going to need worsted yarn, the same stuff we used for scrunchies, 6mm needles. I use circular needles out of preference, but you can use whatever you want. You'll need 2 buttons. Mine are really tiny, so I ended up having to use a regular needle and thread to sew them in. But if you have bigger buttons, you can use the yarn needle too, and that'll also work, and it'll be a little bit easier to catch the threads. So let's get started. Alright, so we're going to start by creating our loop that we will put onto the needle. So you're going to put your 2 fingers over the top and just grab the other side of the yarn, twist it, and use the 2 fingers in there to grab the running tail of yarn that goes back to your ball of yarn. So now you have a loop, and it's adjustable, and we'll pull on the bottom. So you can take that and put it on your left hand needle and pull it tight, not too tight. And then you'll take your right hand needle and put it in through the back of the loop you just made. Take the running tail that goes to the ball of yarn, wrap it around the back needle, pull it down and through, just like that. And now you have another loop on your other needle and put it over the top of the left hand one. So again, we'll go in the one that's now on the top, go to the back, wrap it around, and then pull it down and through. Have another loop and put it over the top. So you're going to do that until you have 20 loops on the left hand needle. So just through the back, round the back, pull the new loop through, and then put it over onto the top of the needle. And again, we're going to do that until you have 20. Alright, so now you should have all 20 loops on your left hand needle, and we're going to start working back in the other direction. So stick your right hand needle into the top loop like you have been, wrap it around the back like you have been, and then pull it down and through. And this time, instead of putting it over the top, you're just going to pull off the loop that's on the left hand side and just leave it like this. And then you'll pull a little bit tighter on this side so that it's snug to your right hand needle. So again, you're going to go into the topmost loop, wrap it around the back, pull that new loop down and through, and then you're just going to pull off the loop that you went through. And again, around the back, down and through, and then pull it off. And pull it off. Just like that. All the way to the end. And then, when you get to the end, you're just going to do that again. We're going to do garter stitch. So you're just going to be knitting every line. When you come to the end, you'll have 20 stitches on your right hand needle and none left on your left hand needle, so you're just going to switch hands. You'll take all 20 stitches and put them in your left hand and hold the empty needle in your right hand. And then you'll just turn around and start knitting again. So one more time, you go in through the bottom, wrap the yarn around the back, pull that new loop through, and then just pull the loop you went through right off the needle. And you're going to repeat knitting from one side to the next 8 times. Alright, so now we're going to start casting off the project. You stick your right hand needle into the loops towards the back, wrap around the back, pull it through, and then just pull it off just like you have been. Pull it tight, and then again, wrap around the back, pull it through, off the top, and then you take the left hand needle and you use it to take the first loop that you made and pull it off the right hand needle. So you just loops down, and you'll do that again. You'll put in through the bottom, wrap around the back, pull down and through, and then pull this side. Oops, this one's a little tight. I overdid that. And pull it over the top. And you'll just do that all the way to the end. Alright, so now you should be down to the end here of casting off. You only have one loop left. So we're just going to cut like a small little tail from the yarn that goes back to your yarn ball. And you're going to stretch out the loop just a little bit because remember that's adjustable. You're going to pull out your needles, and then the tail that you just made we're going to put through the circle once and twice. And then pull tight. And now you can use your scissors to cut off both sides. just not too close, but close enough. And then I've got a needle and thread here that I've tied at the end. You don't need a lot, you're just putting buttons on. And we're going to take our buttons, and if you're using a yarn needle, you won't need this much instruction here, but when you're using this particular needle, you're going to need to go and make sure that your thread goes through the individual threads of the yarn, because it's going to be a lot tougher to catch it. So we'll just sew our button on here and go over and under, and once you get it in initially, you can kind of not worry about the yarn on the back as much, but you want to make sure you're going over it a couple times. So that's pretty much it. Once you're done with this button, you can move on to the other side. It just goes right along the edge, and one on each side. Alright, so hopefully those instructions worked for you, and now you have your completed mask mate. If you have any questions, you can email us or direct message us on Facebook, and I will respond and hopefully get you through whatever trouble you may be experiencing. Like I said, OFML is taking mask donations, and we'll take these mask mates too if you want to create them. We have somebody bringing these up to the hospital, and they're donating them for use. So you can put them in the book drop. Thank you for watching, and I hope you're all staying safe and healthy at home.